This will then connect to our item interface, which will then allow us to connect to any inventory source and use it as a storage system. Hello everybody and welcome back to Subnauticraft, or Oceanblock 2 if you would prefer. Today we need to fix a problem, because in the last video we made ourselves this beautiful little mob farm, very functional, not functional, but the design is very human. That's probably where I got the V, because I was wanting to make that joke, but apparently my voice doesn't want to work. Either way though, we have a problem. So I set up this design where it would input all the items into this chest. However, as you can see, there is a lot of garbage and a lot of stuff that is kind of just not doing what I would like it to, because I set up an omnidirectional hopper to input into our whole storage system, but it can only take in so much, and the garbage backs it all up, which is where the purpose of today's video comes in, where we're going to be getting into some integrated dynamics in order to get the pipes to be able to funnel it all back up to there. And while we're at it, we might as well make a storage system. But before that, there is one thing that I would like to get now, just because, like, I can. I don't know why I can, but I can. So, with the mob farm, we actually have ourselves these Nautilus shells. And somewhere in here, I should actually have some leather. Ah, it was in this chest right here. We have 5 leather, which should be more than enough. With our ender pearls from the farm as well, and some of these, we can actually go ahead and then make ourselves an Eye of Ender. Then, with another sluice that I have made in between episodes, we need to go ahead and grab ourselves a buttload of this gold, so that way we can go ahead and then make ourselves 9 of these. Actually, I think I need... Oh, wait a minute. Because I can combine this to make a raw gold. But I need more than that. I need 2 of these. Oh. I guess that's gonna have to wait momentarily. I mean, for me to get this, I should just need 81 of these. No, it's even less than that. Because, I mean, these guys, they only take 4. So I only need, like, 40-something of them. Huh. That's nice. That shouldn't take too long at all. Okay, then. So I guess we're just gonna have to hold off on that for right now. And then let's just go ahead and get started with integrated dynamics, which I do have a quest line for now, as I have managed to update the mod pack once again to the 4.2 version, I think it is. Why are there pigmen? Okay. I think I'm misunderstanding how the pigmen spawning works, because on the other side of the nether, I have another one of these mega torches, which should prevent mobs from spawning, and I have one over here, which means there's something else going on here, because clearly I'm not understanding something. Either way, though, we can go ahead and get started with integrated dynamics simply by going over here and grabbing ourselves a mineral sapling, which now starts the quest line. So after that, we just need to go ahead and then plant the mineral sapling right here, and then with the power of wood and hoe, we can go ahead and grow it eventually. Maybe it's just a placement, like maybe it's too close to something. Like if I move it over here, still no dice, really. Okay, wait, is it possible that it's the sugarcane? Is the sugarcane messing me up? Okay, and then, yeah, why though? We're just gonna deal with that. There we go. Okay, then we go ahead and break these as well. Ah! No, look, come back. Oh, wait, right, no, because I recently got silk touch on my Paxel. And we also got ourselves some of these mineral berries. These are gonna be important for later, but we're also gonna want to go ahead and just re-break this one down, just because I didn't think the whole thing through with that. But now that we have these, we need to go somewhere, which is to get these, well, mineral chunks, but a bit more consistently than just having to keep planting the tree and breaking them, because with the power of the logs, we actually can do that. But we're going to need to use a squeezer. With the squeezer, what we can go ahead and do is we can just go ahead and place this down here for a moment. I may move it, I may not. But then what we would do is we would go ahead and then throw in our mineral log and then just jump down on this thing and we crush it down. And this will get us a mineral resin. But we can't do anything with that without a drying basin, which we should be able to just connect right here. No, we can't do it like that. Okay, then. So, because, yeah, with some of them, you can just sort of connect it right to it, but it looks like I can't this time, which means I should just need a fluid pipe, which I may have somewhere around here. Well, I don't have a normal fluid pipe, but I do have the one from a mechanism, so it just might work, but I am going to need a wrench for it. I do have this one, so maybe this will work. No. Okay. It's funny. I'm doing all of this to get pipes, and I'm blocked behind needing a pipe. Well, since my obsidian farm is, like, kind of full now, I guess I can just go ahead and siphon it from this one over here temporarily. Just at least until we get a better thing for this. Just because, like, oh, is this annoying? Okay, but then we can go ahead and siphon it over to there. And now it's in, and once this thing is full, it will start to dry out and get us a mineral block, which is just a bunch of these mineral chunks. That is beautiful. But you'll notice this thing is still down. It hasn't shot back up. Why has that happened? Well, it's actually due to a lack of a redstone signal, which we can fix by putting a redstone clock right there. This is where the fun begins. This is the normal one. There is an auto squeezer that requires power for automation. However, with the power of some sort of redstone clock and also making ourselves a very special little thing, which needs stacks. This is another reason why I need to make this into a storage system. I can't reach up there. Oh, it's so annoying. But we can go ahead and then make ourselves a mannequin. I think it's called an armor stand, actually. Okay, so this is interesting. Apparently, I don't know if it was always like this or not. I don't remember doing this when I did this before. I remember I did it back in FTV Skies. Oh, that's a really close one. But apparently, I need 2 of these. So, yeah, there we go. Now that's there. So then we can go ahead and then put this there, and then it works. Either way, though, now that we have ourselves a buttload of mineral, we can actually go ahead and start making the actual pipes for the network. And they're very cheap, too. We just need these, a buttload of sticks, and some redstone. Now, the sticks are a pain in the butt to grab, but there we go. That's not how many I wanted. I didn't want that. Gosh dang it. Okay, but there we go. Now we have ourselves our logic cables, which is good. And that'll get us some more logic cables. Very nice. So now we get to the part where we can actually start making our storage system. Okay, so things went horribly wrong when it comes to recording on my end. I got the item interface with the chests. It was just a very simple recipe. And what those things do is they basically act as the centerpiece of piping networks. So that's very easy. But my recording kind of cut out after I was starting to explain that kind of stuff. So I tried putting it on here with the chest to try and export it out to the main controller system, but it did not work, which means that we are going to need something else, which is actually an item exporter, which uses those things. So yeah, I had kind of gotten cut off as I was making those, but it's fine. So for us to be able to make that, we just need to go ahead and grab ourselves a piston, and then with some variable cards, which I also ended up making off screen, very simple recipe, we now get ourselves this fine, beautiful little baby thing. Then we can just go ahead and then plop this over on the other side, and it should start to export everything else that we need once we go ahead and stick a variable card right into here under all items. And now, yep, everything that is actually part of the main storage system is gone. I could probably try to figure out another way to kind of mess with configurations. That way I could get like all the other garbage into a specific trash can. Is the trash can in this? It is. Trash cans are an essential mod, so, you know, you can't just not have... It's literally just a trash cans mod. Wait, hold on. I thought they were a part of another greater mod. No, it's just trash cans. Either way, though, now that we've gotten that part, the last thing that we need is to get our actual storage system all set up properly. Now, for us to make this, it's going to be a bit interesting. We're going to need an input transformer because we do have the output one now. But now we need an input, which is just the same recipe, but with a sticky piston. Or, actually, I can just change it with a slime ball. Really? Recipe by FTB. What? So they included it. Dude! There we go. Now we got ourselves the input. So that's good. But then we're also going to need a display stand, which is going to need... Okay, that's another output. But those are the ones that don't require the slime, so that's fine. So for us to get the display stand, we just need output and then some mineral berries. And then for this one, we just need a bunch more mineral berries and some more outputs. Okay.
Later.
We have everything, and we can make ourselves our storage terminal. There we go. That is beautiful, but it doesn't give us anything else for it. That's fine. But what is good is that this alone will give us the quest, even though we can also actually get ourselves a portable storage terminal, which both are very useful, but the portable one does take a bit more doing. But we can just focus on this right now. There we go. With this system right here, this will then connect to our item interface, which will then allow us to connect to any inventory source and use it as a storage system. Now, as I said earlier, there is a portable storage terminal, which will allow me to access this thing wirelessly from anywhere in the world. However, in order for me to get that, I would need to use the storage terminal, so I'd need to get another one of those. That's not a problem. What is a problem, though, is what I need to be able to configure this so that way it actually works. And that is all the way down here with an omnidirectional connector. It is not too difficult to get, but it is a whole other process that we shall get into. So let's go ahead and make ourselves our portable terminal right now. And like I said, we cannot access that without an omnidirectional link. So for us to get that, we're first going to need to make ourselves a mono-directional link, which is very easy for us to be able to make. We just need to go ahead and then use these cards right here to make these babies. We will need 2 of them in order to make the omnidirectional ones. So now that we have them, the next thing we need is going to be a logic director, which we make from crystal chorus. Uh-oh. Does that mean we need to go to the end? Can you tell by the sarcasm in my voice that that is in fact not what we need to do? Thankfully, there is something in integrated dynamics that does help us with this issue. But before we do that, I am going to want to go ahead and then set up another one of these mineral saplings. And in fact, I'm noticing I in fact have to do that, as I do not actually have one of the components I need, which is the mineral berries. So we can just go ahead and break this baby down, and there we go. Now we got... It'll come back up eventually. It always comes back up. But now we got ourselves a buttload of these mineral berries. That's beautiful. Then we need to go ahead and... Actually, I don't need to try and reach up there anymore. I got this thing now. We can now go ahead and then grab ourselves... Actually, I don't need to try and take it out. I got this thing now. We can go ahead and make ourselves our proto chorus fruit, which will allow us to go ahead and turn this into our liquid chorus. Now, I could put it in the squeezer and that'll get me 125 of it. But if I put it in my smelter, I can actually get quadruple it. So, well, not quadruple it, but I can actually get even more of it. So by putting in 4 of these, since it makes 250, this should be a whole block, because you need a whole bucket's worth to be able to use a block. Once this is ready, we will then get ourselves our block of crystal chorus. Now we need 6 for just 4 of these. So this will actually be a little bit more than we're going to need. There we go. So now we got ourselves our crystal chunks. So now we can go ahead and then make our logic directors right here, which then we can make ourselves our omnidirectional connectors. There we go. So we can slap that one right there, and then by right-clicking this or shift right-clicking it, okay, just right-clicking it, we are now in the network, baby. Oh my gosh, it's beautiful. So now I just need to set it to where I like it. There we go. So now, no matter where I am, in the depths of my base, all the way over by my mob farm, because that's the farthest point I got, I can still access it. All that is left is for me to figure out how to filter out the garbage. I do already have a trash can, apparently. I found it in my inventory. So let me go ahead and figure that thing out. And then we can go ahead and actually move on to our last little thing that I had mentioned at the beginning.
A little longer than a few minutes later.
Alrighty, it should be good now. Everything is gone, and I have it all set to a filter. So we only have everything else that is not on this filter going into here. Now, this will only input into here if there is a drawer specifically for the item. So that's already kind of got its own filter. But then this one, since it's so many specific other items, I had to set it all onto filters. That way it wouldn't just be like anything and everything else, because you never know, something new might arise. So then the last thing that we are going to want to go ahead and do is we should now have everything for this. So we can go ahead and then make our last golden block, and then we get our temporal pouch that I had promised earlier right here. Since this wouldn't fit in its own episode, we're just doing it here. And what this thing is going to do, for those of you who don't know, it's going to slowly absorb time as I am standing here, actual time in the server. And I can use that time to speed up processes. So did you like this video? Good. And be sure to check out our last Subnauticraft where we made a mob farm. Bye!